Okay. Let me go ahead and bring up something that's a little bit heavy. Okay. I'm going to talk about relapse, the subconscious, and trauma. Okay. I know that the word trauma is getting thrown around a lot, but realize that right now we are healing, and so therefore we are having to release that trauma, and so the word needs to be used. Okay? Deal with it. Okay. So, with relapse, whenever you struggle with addictions, here's something that I learned early on. Now, relapse always starts in the mind, okay? And if relapse always starts in the mind, then realize that we are manifesting ways to convince ourselves to do it again. So think of it in the context of how, like, you are wanting to relapse, and so somehow you meet someone that has a connection that can get you what you want. You manifest in, like, stopping by the one place that has alcohol, and you're just like, oh, okay, so now I'm stuck with these people. Meeting new people. Sorry, I went off on a different direction, but like meeting new people that are still actually stuck in their addictions, or that that are working on it, but still are finding excuses to keep going with other things. Whatever it may be, I was still manifesting in people here and there whenever I was struggling with getting clean and sober. Like, I still wanted to, and I would still bring people in that were connected to doing those things. And it's like, I just don't want to do it. So I'm not going, like, it's okay if you choose to do it, but that's my choice. I don't want to do it. And so there are some things that I'm okay with, like if somebody chooses to smoke pot, that's fine. That's cool on them. As long as you don't, expect me to, and as long as you, as long as you aren't doing it around me, then we won't have a problem. But that's the thing, though, is that I am not going to do that. Same with drinking. I could never, ever be in a relationship with someone that chooses to drink, because that's just my choice. I'm not going to drink, and I don't want it around me. I believe that alcohol is poison, and there's lots of other proof of that. Alcohol is poison to our bodies. And so it's one of those things that it's socially acceptable to do, but you're really just, you're trying to poison your body over and over and over again. That goes into the same concept of with drugs and other things like that, eating unhealthy foods. You are telling yourself subconsciously that you are not worthy of eating healthy foods, that you don't love yourself. Because when you love yourself, you're not going to put those things into your body. Do you see? Like, when you start to put more love into your body, whenever you start loving yourself, you don't want those things. Like, they fall away. So, relapse, you're going to have the thoughts of it first before it actually happens. That's what they always say in recovery and in AA and like in those programs, that you think it first before you actually do it. And so I want to talk about why. Okay, for me, I don't know if it's for everyone. I personally kind of think that it falls under everyone that has the problem with trauma, because I feel like as a collective, we struggle with a lot of the same things, okay? But for me, I had a lot of repressed trauma that I was instinctively, my subconscious was trying to protect myself. My subconscious did not want me to experience those memories. So therefore, I was doing things, I was meeting with people, I was constantly doing things that would make me try to relapse. Whether for me, and to be really, really open up and honest about it, for me, drugs were not, and alcohol were not my biggest problem. I personally struggled with sex addiction way more than any other kind of issue, as well as like sugar addiction, like sweets and stuff like that. I have struggled with like food and sex and avoidance is a big addiction. I call addiction because of the fact that when you avoid dealing with things, addiction is, sorry, this is a quote that I got from back in therapy, my very first therapist in my first treatment center. Addiction is the perpetual avoidance of legitimate pain. Okay? So whatever you are doing to avoid feeling your pain, that is an addiction. So, with that whole thing, for me personally, avoidance was a big one. And avoidance can be anything in like working too much, watching television, reading, whatever it may be, avoiding actually confronting those feelings that I've been feeling. So, for me, I would find any way, like my relapse was not drugs, it was relationships. So that was the biggest problem, is like that was my first and foremost addiction, was relationships and getting lost in them and feeling like I needed to be with someone and not actually confront what I was feeling. So I would call in friendships, I would call in guys to like see if I was good to be in a relationship with that person. I would call in various, like I would call in needing to have to work more. Like my finances would lower and therefore I would need to actually like work harder or call in some kind of random bill that needed to be paid. I'm serious when I say like it's crazy how much we manifest into our lives to try and protect ourselves. So, why I say this is because we relapse to stay safe. We continuously choose our addictions to protect ourselves from having to feel the really shitty feelings. Like, I mean, the shitty feelings that have you on the floor, bawling your eyes out, ugly crying, snot dripping down your nose, like you need a paper towel, not a tissue kind of like feelings. We are protecting ourselves. Like our subconscious is protecting ourselves from the trauma. And why I say this is because of the fact that I personally had to confront hardcore, some deep, 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 deep trauma. And in the moment, I did not know that that's what I was doing. I really was like, why is this happening to me? Like, what did I do in life? It's not what you did. You have to realize everything is happening for you when you get to a certain level, like to you, for you. Now I'm going to look this one up because I know it. And I'm doubting myself. Let's see. Everything is... Let's see. I do not remember what it is called because of the fact that it is there's a hierarchy, and so there's like this whole understanding of how it happens, and I am not finding it right now. I swear I want to find it, and now it's going to bother me because I cannot find it. There is I cannot think of it. It's bothering me now. And right now I feel like so bad because I feel like I'm wasting people's time by trying to look it up. Oh, that's one of the areas that I need to like continuously work on. It's taking up space and stuff like that and not feeling like a burden. So that is still in there, but we're getting there. I'm further now here than I was before. Okay. I cannot find the third one. I've got it in my notes somewhere. But life is happening to me, and then life is happening for me. Life is happening through me. Is like, I think, the last one. That being the creator of your own reality, you are the one that is the main character, the main person that is creating everything that is happening around you. So I called that stuff in so that I could work through it and so that I could actually heal it. But in the moment, I was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I doing, like, why does God hate me so much? You know, of course. But that's the thing, is like, with the trauma, the fear of the memories of the trauma is what is keeping us to go back to safety. It's why we will still continue to zone out to TV. It's why we will continue to keep eating junk food. It's why we will continue to date unhealthy, toxic relationships. It's why we will continue to keep sleeping around with people, or it's why we will continue going out and getting drunk to, suppress the pain, to numb the pain. It's part of it. That's the thing, is we will choose to do it because that's the easier route than to actually face the monsters, the demons that are dark in the basement, that we know we've got to go into that basement with a little flashlight, and we've got to look around, and we've got to clean out that whole entire fucking basement and deal with that shit. Those demons that are deep, dark, the boogeyman is deep in there, and we got to go get him. We know that we got to do it, but we don't want to do it because we know that it's hard and that it's going to take time and that it's going to hurt. And so instead, we take the easy route. But also realize, if we keep taking that easy route, nothing is going to change in our life. And you are never going to get where you want to go. You are never going to be who you want to be. You are never going to be successful until you actually face those demons, until you actually go down there and you start ripping up the carpet and you start tearing down the walls and you start finding every little piece of trauma that is deep, dark in there. Thing about it is that you're going to have moments where you're going to have things come up that you bring into your life that you are going to try to relapse again. I, in turn, had that exact same thing. Whenever I got triggered, I called in people that I could possibly date. But at the same time, I was able to catch myself and say, hey, no, this is not someone I need to even be associating with. This is a relationship, this is a friendship that is not equal, that is not someone safe. I am not going to actually get involved with this person, and walked away. It's knowing that in those moments you have a choice to make. When you are given the opportunity to relapse, you choose not to. You choose not to. to know that you have that power in you to not relapse. Your subconscious is going to continuously try and throw these things at you because it's trying to send you back to safety. It's trying to send you back to a place where you felt safe and comfortable. But because if you keep putting yourself outside that comfort zone outside, that comfort zone is going to change. And slowly and slowly and slowly, these subconscious manifestations of ways for you to relapse are going to diminish, and they're going to eventually go away because you are internally making this choice to stay on your path, to become the person that you want to be. So you're going to be given these options, and you're going to have traumas come up. You're going to have things, because the funny thing about it is that we have learned that the body, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and a dream, because it's just a brain. So when you have those trauma flashbacks, it feels like you're still there. It feels like you are in that place of where you were hurting. You feel like you are truly there, like you think you're there. A big thing that I have used numerous times for trauma flashbacks is that it's just a memory. It's not real. I'm not there anymore. It's just a memory. It's not real. I'm not there anymore. Okay? That is something that if you continuously pull yourself back, I am safe. I am not there anymore. That's not real. It feels real, but it's not real. If you can pull yourself back from those moments and ground yourself back into reality, keep breathing, stand still, be calm, you will bring yourself back, and it's okay. It'll be okay. You will be okay. So that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to bring up, was the fact that, relapse and the subconscious and trauma all are interconnected. And from those people out there that are struggling with any kind of addiction, nothing pisses me off more than someone that thinks that their addiction is perfectly fine compared to another addiction. Like, okay, in treatment, the very first treatment center, there was a guy that, there were a lot of people there that did heroin. And there was this guy that, he did heroin, but he said in one of our things, he said that, but at least I didn't shoot up. Yes, I did heroin, but at least I didn't shoot up. He was trying to justify his actions and relieve some of his guilt and relieve some of his pain by building up his ego, by making himself sound better because he didn't at least do this. Like, people do it in the drug addiction world all over. So many people will sit there and say, well, at least I didn't become a stripper. Well, at least I didn't go out and do drugs. At least I didn't do crack cocaine. Everybody has this well, at least I didn't do that, so mine's not so bad. No, just because certain things are seen far worse than other things doesn't make it any better or worse. It's all an addiction. Just because you did drugs doesn't mean, and then somebody else chooses food, does not mean you get to see yourself as better than that person. It's still an addiction. An addiction is an addiction, whether it's watching TV, whether it's sex, whether it's drugs, whether it's avoidance, and you just choose to read a book and to actually avoid, then actually to face your problems. It doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. So, don't get on your high horse thinking that, your addiction doesn't really matter because it's not as bad as another one. No, it's still a way for you to avoid dealing with your shit. Okay? So, I wanted to bring this up because of the fact that I want people to be aware of how we are creating our realities. And for anybody struggling with any kind of addiction, a relapse starts in the mind. We always will find a way to justify it. We will automatically call these things in. We will manifest these things in, and I'll be like, oh, well, the universe, wants me to have it because, like, it just showed up. No, bitch, that was you calling it in, and you brought that in, and therefore it's giving you a chance to be able to be like, well, the universe wants me to, okay? That's your justification. The universe sent it to me, okay? No, that was you. You just wanted an excuse to be able to do it, okay? So, it's standing up to those. And look, I'm still working through my shit too, okay? Like, I'm not sitting here thinking that I'm all high and mighty by any means, because I still struggle with food addiction a little bit. Like, not nearly as much. I have a higher control over it than I did before, because I was an emotional eater for a very long time, dealing with a lot of things. Programming and all of that stuff, and I'll do a whole other video on that stuff, because things I've learned while getting my certified personal training and nutrition certifications. I don't have them just yet, but stuff I've learned, but yes, so I wanted to bring up the relapse and the subconscious and trauma and tell people, you don't have to keep relapsing. A relapse is a choice. You can make the choice. You are strong enough to make the choice. Just choose different. Okay? I'm going to let you guys go because I've still got some more videos to make, and where are we at on time? And I still got to go pick up the kids. So I think I can get one more video in and then go pick up kids from school. And then, do my thing. I have so many more videos to make, and I'm just loving it because I love making these videos. And I love being able to finally, be myself and share this stuff with people, because I finally have a voice. I'm like Ariel. I can finally sit there and say it for so long and actually be my real self on camera. So it's so nice. It's such a beautiful feeling. I love it. Okay, I love you all, and you are beautiful and you are blessed. Have a beautiful, blessed day, because I know you are as well. And I love you all. And keep healing, keep growing. Don't ever give up. Okay? I love you.